going to discuss the put option payoff. So put option is an option to sell an asset at a certain price by a certain date. So you need to remember that by put you mean sell. Now let's look at an example. So the fund manager, the previous one that we used in the call case, the same one. The fund manager in this case, after having held Mega System shares for some time, is concerned that there may be a substantial fall in the price over the next 3 months. Rather than sell the shares outright, the manager decides to protect the position by purchasing a put option on Mega System. So now what happened is that the fund manager thinks that the price is later on going to fall. So what he's going to do is going to protect his position by purchasing a put option that gives him the right to sell at a predetermined price. So he is expecting that the price at which he is going to go into the put option contract, it is going to be higher than the spot price later on. So the option type is a put option, which means that it gives the fund manager the right, but not the obligation to sell Mega System shares. The strike price in this is going to be £6. So the price receivable by the fund manager for the shares under the option contract. The number of shares are again 100,000. The period is again 1 month, and the premium is 5%. Now 5% of the strike price. That means 5% of 6, which means 0.30. 0.30 pound, or you could call it 30 pence. Now the number of shares are 100,000, so that means on one share the premium that you will have to pay is 0.30. That means 30,000 is your premium amount that you will have to pay in total. Now scenario number 1 is that the share price rises to £7. So what was your strike price? It was £6. Now think yourself, your put option gives you the right to sell the share at 6, but the share price has risen to 7. Would you exercise it or would you not exercise it? You would not exercise it. The reason being that you can sell it for 6 using your option contract, but why would you sell it for 6 when you can sell it directly for 7 in the market? So you would prefer to sell it directly in the market. You will not use your option contract in this case. So the manager retains the holding in Mega System. There is no point in selling for £6 a share that has a market value of £7. So it doesn't make sense. Now scenario 2 is, what if the share price falls to 6? Now again, your strike price is 6. You can sell at 6, although in the market everybody else can sell it for 5. Now this is a profitable position for you. You can sell it for a higher price, even though in the market it has a lower price. So yes, you're going to exercise the option and sell the holding for Mega System. Now what was the exercise value formula for put option? You have already studied this. So if you want to calculate the exercise value of your put option, you are going to exercise it when the strike price is high. So which means X, I'm denoting X by strike price, X minus your spot price. This is the formula in this case. So the strike price is 6, the spot price is 5. So this gives you an exercise value of 1. And if you calculate the exercise value in this case, it is going to be 6 minus 7, which means -1. So in this case, you're not going to exercise it because you do not want to go into loss. Now let's understand this through a diagram. So this is the payoff under the purchase of a put option. So the put option buyer, he is going to have this kind of a payoff. Over here, you can see that again, you have the premium 30 pence. So this is the maximum loss that the put option buyer will have to incur. That is that if he doesn't use the option at all, and he is not going to use the option until the spot price goes below 6. So if the spot price is 7, he's not going to exercise it, because why sell something for 6 when in the market you can sell it for 7? So in this case, he's not going to exercise it, and the maximum loss that he will have to bear on one stock is 30 pence. However, if the stock price declines and if it goes this way, so if it's 6, we say that it is at the money. If it's 7, we say it's out of the money because it's not going to get exercised. So at 6, you can exercise it, but your premium will not be covered at this point, because your break-even price is actually 5.7. It's not 6. You have to take into account the 30 pence. Now, why is it 5.7 and not 6.3? This is interesting. It is not 6.3, the break-even price like in the call option. Instead, it is 5.7, because remember, you're talking about a seller. For seller, this 6 is an income. Okay, so it's a positive cash flow. Do not make this mistake of taking as the break-even price as 6.3. You need to understand that for a seller, if he's going to sell, he's going to get cash inflow of 6. The strike price is 6. But he has already given an advance payment of 0.30. So that means his total expense will be 5.7. This is his break-even price because of that. Okay, so I'll repeat this once again, that 6 is the cash inflow and 0.3 is the advance payment that you have made, which makes it that 5.7 is your break-even price. So once the price goes below, reaches 5.7, it means you will neither have profit, neither you will have loss. And once it starts to go even beyond this below, you will start to get profit. So for example, if it goes to 5, you will have a profit of 70 pence in that case, and you will be in the money. So this area denotes in the money over here. Again, you can see that the profit is unlimited, whereas the loss is limited for a put option buyer. Now let's look at the seller side. So this is another diagram, so I do not have the values, but you can see it's a mirror image. Your put option is like this, and for the seller, it's like this. So it's a mirror image of the same diagram. And this is a person who has sold the put option, so that means he is now obligated by whatever the buyer decides. It's the same case. The buyer is going to decide. He has the decision of whether to exercise it or not to exercise it. The seller has to go with it. But the seller is of the view that the price is actually going to increase. So this is what he thinks. That's why he is ready to sell the put option, because he thinks that the price is going to increase. Because of that, the buyer of the put option is never going to exercise it, and he will get this maximum profit out of it. So the profit amount was 0.30, remember? So this is a premium, and the seller is going to get the premium if the option is not exercised. However, if the price actually falls below, then yes, it will be exercised, and then the seller will have to lose. And you can see that the loss for the seller is actually unlimited and the profit is limited. So the seller is not in that of good position, because it can go into unlimited loss for the seller, whereas the profit for the seller has a limit attached to it. But the seller is assuming that the price is going to increase. So whatever is the profit in this case will be the loss over here. So over here, okay, so I hope this is clear.